Well, hello, Westheights Community Church, and thank you for joining me this afternoon. And thank you for being a part of our Sundays online time this past week. You know, one of the things that warmed my pastor's heart was seeing the conversations that were taking place in the chat area of our YouTube channel. You see, to me, it felt very much like what happens in the foyer of our church building on a Sunday morning. You know, people were saying hi to one another. Jokes were being told. Stories were being told. We were asking how one another were doing. It felt very relationally special. And to me, it represented the fact that despite the reality that we can't physically be together, it doesn't mean that we can't be relationally connected. And so thank you for being a part of that. Now, this past Sunday, Pastor Shar was a part of our time together, and among all the good things that she said she taught us how to virtually high five each other, and so that was pretty great, and I'm sure we'll continue doing that. This Sunday, Christina Main, our student ministries director, will be a part of our time together, and I understand she's working on something creative to share with us, and so that'll be kind of cool. Christina, we're looking forward to you being a part of our Sundays online experience. Now, this past Sunday, one of the things that we talked about was how we can be people of hope and love in the midst of this weird time that we're living in. In fact, being people of hope and love is a wonderful gift that we can give our friends, our family, our neighbors, the people that we bump into when we're doing our grocery shopping. Hopefully not physically bumping into them, but you know what I mean, right? For me this week, this was expressed beautifully in a phone call. I called somebody about one thing, but before we got down to business, before we started talking about that one thing, they asked me how I was doing. And that simple question, it communicated love, it communicated hope, it communicated that I mattered. And so, Westheights, I'm wondering about whether or not we can make this a challenge for us. That this week, would we commit to calling or texting or reaching out to two people and asking them how they're doing? You know, we're living in a time where people can feel isolated and alone, and they can feel left out. You know, can we bridge that gap by reaching out and saying, hey, how are you doing? You know, affirming that they matter. And in doing so, we might find ourselves with opportunities to see God at work. You know what, this week I was making some phone calls, and I found myself being really encouraged by some of the stories I was hearing. I also found myself moved to pray. You know, that's something that we can do. And that's something we can do despite the fact that we might not be able to sit with one another physically. And so this Sunday, you are invited to come back to our YouTube channel, and we look forward to be able to spend some time together that way. At Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Don't miss it. It's an event. We'll talk to you later. High five. You don't even want to know how many takes that took. It was a lot. Far too many. Far too many.